Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. It is the 16th of May, Thursday, and today we are having a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press here in Spain, and also some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times. We'll also go into the live chat that I have here to my right. Check out what is happening in that live chat. So if you are watching this evening, participating in the chat, say hello. Now, straight into the news, and the first article that we're going to look at today, this one here related to the Spain-Gibraltar issue. And Minister Allergies and Minister Cameron meet Thursday today in Brussels to advance in the negotiation on Gibraltar. The negotiations of the European Union and the UK to define the relationship of Gibraltar with the EU27 will meet again this Thursday in Brussels to continue discussions at the highest political level. The meeting will be attended by the Vice President of the European Commission in charge of the matter, Maros Sefcovic, and the British Foreign Minister, David Cameron, as well as the head of Spanish diplomacy, José Manuel Álvarez, and the Chief Minister of Gibraltar, Fabián Picardo. In this new meeting, the leaders intend to advance the guidelines of an agreement that will bring prosperity, confidence, legal certainty, and stability to the citizens of the Campo de Gibraltar, the Gibraltar area, said the same sources. So we'll see what happened today. I'm sure that the news will pick up on this tomorrow, if not already. But those people meeting in Brussels to negotiate the Gibraltar situation, which has been, as I said yesterday, a bit of a difficult situation ever since Brexit all those years ago. No agreement has been reached yet, and of course Gibraltar, a British territory on Spanish mainland, as we know. And there's a lot of points that they're talking about, especially when it comes to the airport. And the Spanish minister, I think, the other day announced that they will share use of the airport down there in Gibraltar. So that is good news for the citizens of that part of Spain. Some of the, I'm not going to say poorer parts of the country, but they have seen economic difficulties over the years. High unemployment rates in that Campo de Gibraltar, crime rates because of all of the drug activity, the smuggling activities. So we'll see what happens with this agreement and when it is formalised. Prime Minister Sanchez going to speak on the 22nd, as we saw the other day, and fill us in or let us know what's happening with these negotiations. Second piece of news here, and the national police here in Spain have dismantled a Sinaloa cartel infrastructure in Spain. The national police have dismantled the infrastructure of the Sinaloa cartel, the Mexican cartel in Spain, which the Mexican drug trafficking organization used in the country. This operation was described as very laborious and extremely important due to the extensive security measures taken by these drug transporters, according to Marcelino Fernandez, head of the Provincial Judicial Police Brigade in Valencia. The operation has dismantled the main supply point for synthetic drugs in Europe, which operated from the provinces of Tenerife, Madrid, Valencia, and Alicante. So no stopping these Mexican cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, one of the many cartels in Mexico that control the drug trade there, obviously, and no doubt other illegal activities. And getting their foot or getting a place here in Spain, getting their foot into Spain here with their infrastructure, according to the national police, Tenerife, Madrid, Valencia, and Alicante, because it's all about bringing those drugs into the European market, the lucrative European market, and what do they call it here? A very laborious and extremely important infrastructure here in Spain, bringing those drugs into the country, synthetic drugs, as we saw. Next piece of news here, and the sales of electric vehicles are stagnating in Spain, and 21% of chargers are not working. Things are really bad. The data taken separately may give the impression that everything is going well. During the first quarter of this year, the public access electric car charging network in Spain grew by 3,121 new points, so that on the 31st of March, there were now 34,422 charging points in Spain where you can charge the battery of your plug-in vehicle. But optimism begins to fade if we think that the objective was to conclude 2024 with 63,500 points in operation, since ANFAC, the Employers Association of manufacturers that sell cars in Spain, created a timetable of minimums to be met if anyone wants electromobility to be viable. And that's the question, isn't it? Will electromobility become viable to the masses or for the masses? That's the question. At the moment, it is. I'm seeing more and more electric cars on the roads. I'm not going to lie. You see more and more Teslas. You see more of these MGs, these Chinese electric cars. You see the BYD, is it? Build Your Dreams brand as well, cruising the streets. Some of the European makers are also putting out electric cars, but the charging network is still not up to scratch. According to that, there should be, by the end of the year, what was the figure? 63,500 points. Only 34,422 currently, and 21%, according to that article, not working. So imagine pulling up to a charging point that you've looked up on your app, you get there, and it's not working. So if you own an electric vehicle in Spain, let us know your experience, if it is still positive, or perhaps some negativity is creeping in. Let me know. And keeping on the subject of driving here in Spain, good news to the goodbye to the abuse of the left lane. The left lane hoggers. Everything you need to know about the new DGT, the Traffic Directorate here in Spain, their regulation. All drivers using the left lane will be sanctioned with fines of €200 in case they are not overtaking. This is one of the new rules that the Dirección General de Tráfico, DGT, has recently added to the Reglamento General de Circulación. The measure limiting the prolonged use of the left lane, reserving it exclusively for overtaking other vehicles, is one of the most talked about. The DGT urges drivers to return to the right lane immediately after overtaking one or more vehicles, thus avoiding unnecessary congestion and possible risky situations. Although remaining in this lane for no reason can result in a fine of €200. Although this can happen, it will not lead to the loss of points on the driver's license. So purely a fine here if you get caught hogging that left lane or sitting in the left lane for too long, which, as we know, people like to do. Sometimes I drive to Portugal and you see people that sit in the left lane all the way. They think that that's the way to drive, sitting in that left lane. But it should only be used, as we saw there, for overtaking. And if you don't adhere to that rule, from next year, 2025, a €200 fine. But no points, which is positive. No points is positive, of course. Now, into the comment section, let's have a look here. First one from Michael, saying that nut oil is less than €3 in consume and ideal for cooking with. Thanks for that, Michael. We've seen that the price of all oils except for olive oil have dropped. I think up to 21% was the figure we saw yesterday, nut oil included. But as I have mentioned previously, you're not going to get the average Spaniard, the average Jose Ana Maria, to change to nut oil. They're stuck on olive oil. It's what they use. It's as simple as that. So there might be other oils available in the supermarkets, and no doubt some people do buy sunflower oil or canola oil and things like this. Some people might even buy avocado oil. But the main oil for cooking here in Spain, used by the majority, is olive oil. Always has been, probably always will be. Or at least that's what I believe. So, cheaper to buy nut oil, but try to get people to buy it. Another one here from Chris. The best beer in Spain, in his opinion, is Victoria, a Malaga beer. It's refreshing. It's tasty. And if the picture of a very hot bloke on the label doesn't make you want to drink it, then nothing will. Yes, the Victoria Malaga beer. And when I first started going to Malaga, my partner's parents had a house there. So we used to spend our summers in Malaga, in a place called Rincón de la Victoria. And all of the times that I went down to Malaga, I don't know how many times it was, but a lot, I never saw Malaga Victoria or Victoria Malaga. It was always Cruz Campo. And then I went to Córdoba about 5 or 6 years ago, and I saw this Victoria Malaga. And somebody said, oh, that's a beer from Malaga. And I said, well, I've never seen it before. So I looked at the label, and it's been around for a long time. But in recent years, I'd say it's become more popular than it was when I was frequenting Malaga. But Chris likes it. So good luck, but I can't really tell the difference between that and some other lagers to be able to say that it's a fantastic beer. I think you quench your thirst on many lagers here in Spain, and that's just one of them. When I was recently in Jaén, that was the beer that I was offered, and that's the beer that I asked for. And, well, there were 3 beers on tap, but I asked for that one. And it was refreshing on a hot day down there in Jaén. So I'm not going to say it's my favourite beer, but I'm not going to say it's my least favourite beer either. Another one here from Dan. Madrid. I was stood at a bar ordering a few pints, speaking with mates. I asked where it was from. Some smug leant over saying the clues in the name. A week later, I'm delivering to a brewery in the Midlands, and hey presto, we all know what they were brewing. Can't wait to see that smug numpty. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been fooled by this beer, this British beer that calls itself Madrid and has a picture of a traditional Madrid man on the label. I think if you can get some Spanish connection there, it is the recipe of a Spanish brewery here called, I can't remember, but they're a boutique brewery, and I think they joined forces with Coors to produce this beer in the UK. Now, I've seen it on the shelves in supermarkets here, so it sells here, but again, it's not popular. I haven't seen it in any bars or restaurants, but I've seen it on the supermarket shelf, and it just blends in like every other beer. But I didn't know that it was a beer designed for the UK market, or even spreading into Ireland as well. But it's a UK market beer, and a lot of people have been fooled, and it is brewed in the UK. And if I remember the name of the brewery, I think it's called La Sagra, local brewery here in Madrid. La Sagra is the name, and they joined forces with Coors to produce that beer, but I think that's the only input that they had. Okay, that one we've seen. This one here from Janet. Logic tells you to put the jam on the scone first and then the cream, but like you said, Stuart, each to their own. It's funny how some items in the supermarket have gone down in price. I'm not surprised, really. It's probably because they are not selling, along with the fact that the majority you mentioned are all unhealthy. I certainly would not touch any of those oils with a barge pole. Thanks for the update. Thanks, Janet, for that. And yeah, scones, cream on top of the jam, or jam on the bottom, cream on top. My preference is jam on the scone, cream on top of the jam. But some people we know like to do it vice versa, to put the ingredients on in another way. But yeah, each to their own, as I said yesterday. And when it comes to some of those products that have fallen in price, Janet could be right. It's due to demand. They've fallen because nobody buys them. The popular products in high demand, the olive oils, they continue to go up in price, as do some other things which are still in demand. And yeah, basically everything's gone up. As I mentioned, it's not unique to Spain. It's happened all over the world, inflation. And we've just got to suck it up and hope that prices go down to where they once were. Let's hope. Another one here from Ramo. I think this is Ram Rostam. Hello, would you know anything about squatters and the best way to remove them? Ramon. Ramon, thanks for the question. I don't know a lot about squatters. I haven't had a run-in with squatters, but in the street that I live in, we've had 2 houses in the last year occupied by squatters. One still is. The other ones were removed. I don't know how they were removed, whether it was forcibly or whether it was legally. I've got no idea, but they're not there anymore. And basically they were discreet squatters. They didn't cause any problems to the rest of the street, but they were squatting nonetheless. How do you get them out? Well, obviously, I'm going to say legally. If you can, go to the police and report that somebody is in your house illegally, and then wait for the judicial process to take place, and hopefully you'll be able to get them out, providing that they meet the criteria. If you have a family living in your property and squatting, it might be more difficult to get them out because the judge could say that they need a home, and because you're not using your home, you might not be able to get them out quickly. That's what I've heard. Again, not an expert. And the illegal way to get them out, and this is not something that I would recommend, is to, well, I'll let you work it out for yourself. But there are people that will take care of that for you if you can find them. That's all I'll say. Thanks, Ramon. One here from David. For the past 12 months, I've been drinking the Spanish beers here in the UK. Favourites: number 1, Cruz Campo. Number 2, Estrella Galicia. 3, Galicia. That should be Estrella Damm. Number 3. 4, Malaga Victoria. 5, Mao. Not generally available. Madrid is Piddle. Previous sessions: Moretti, Peroni. Once upon a time, used to drink the Ambar Nectar. Castlemaine 4X, not 3X, not Foster's. Barry Mackenzie lived in Earl's Court. Yes, David, thanks for that. Barry Mackenzie, the fictional character that was popular back in the 1970s because of a movie, I think, the Barry Mackenzie Experience or something the movie was called. And it was about an an Aussie young bloke who hopped on a plane and went to London and stayed in Earl's Court. And I think ever since then, Earl's Court has been popular for Australians passing through London. Or at least it used to be back in the 80s and 90s. Not sure whether it still is. I haven't been to Earl's Court for about 3 or 4 years. But there were some Australian pubs there. Probably still are. The Walkabout rings a bell, where you could get a pint of Foster's. If that's Australian, maybe you could get a pint of something else as well. So there were some Aussie pubs on Earl's Court Road back in the day in London. And the other beers that you mentioned here, Cruz Campo, yeah, I don't know whether I would put it at number 1, but of course, if you like it, fantastic. And the other Spanish beers there. My favourite, Estrella Galicia, probably. Estrella Damm, not if I can avoid it. But the rest, yeah, on a hot day, why not? And the final comment here from Gary: fantastic episode, Andalusian Cup this weekend in Granada. Come and turn your arm over. A few of my Aussie and Kiwi friends here playing too. I love their competitiveness. Yeah, thanks, Gary, for that. Obviously talking about a game of cricket that's taking place this weekend, the Andalusian Cup in Granada. Come and turn my arm over, he says. Well, I'm a bit old for that nowadays, and if I turn my arm over, it might be wrecked for the rest of my life. So probably not, Gary, but I understand that you enjoy your cricket, and hope all goes well with that Andalusian tournament, and you are successful, and that the Aussies and Kiwis are not overly competitive, which sometimes they can get that white line fever, as they call it, get a bit too competitive on the field, on the ground. So let's hope that is not the case. But thanks for the invitation, but I think I'll save my shoulders and not bowl any balls. Now, into the chat section I'm going to go. Let's do that. Firstly, I'm going to change the backdrop picture. This one sent in by Carol, and the picture is here of Puente de something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I'll see if I can find it. But it's in Valencia. Puente de something. Puente de las Flores. That was easy. Bridge of Flowers. There we go. So all of the flowers there on the side there of that bridge. Very colourful, I must say. A lovely picture. Thanks, Carol, for sending that one through. And if you've got a similar picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free, send them through. And also, if you have any other information that you would like to send my way, that is the email address. So news articles, anything else about Spain that you would think would be worthy to bring to the community, that's the email address there, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Like icon also going on the screen, the little yellow hand down there. If you haven't hit it yet, please do so. Just below the video, you will find the like icon. We're up to 50 currently. We'll see if we can get a decent tally today. You never know. So thanks for that, hitting that like button. People that have supported the channel in recent times, buying me a coffee, super thanks on the YouTube, super chat as well. Patreon supporters, longer-term supporters on Patreon, and also channel members, people that have joined the channel recently. New channel member today. Shangin joined the other day, and today I think, I can't remember, I'll see it in a minute when I go into the chat, but a new channel member today. So thank you very much for joining the channel. Now, let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Here we go. Lada is the new channel member. Just became a member. Thanks for that, Lada. Thanks for your support. Another channel member, Barbara, is also in the chat section here. Pleasant 25 degrees today there. Andrew, rubbish weather in Amarina at the moment. Not good. Lada, as we just saw, who became a member today. Pamela coming in from San Juan de los Terreros. James and Kathy coming in from a cloudy Worcester after some fantastic weather last week. Looking forward to boarding the ferry back to Spain soon. Good luck with that, guys. Hope all goes well. Mary coming in from Peñíscola, down there, or over there, I should say, in the Valencian community. In Castellón, the province to be exact. Stephen, valued member, coming in from Torrevieja. Still lovely weather continuing this week. Article about Torrevieja in the paper today or yesterday in a British paper. Somebody called it the Blackpool of Spain. Don't know whether you would agree, Stephen. Let us know. The Blackpool of Spain. The sunny Blackpool, I think they said. Ramon coming in from LA. Tio Allen coming in from Southern California. Cold there. Back to El Puerto in 6 weeks. High Flyer John, valued member 2. Renovation works in the kitchen, so not all sun and sand in Spain. A few beers tonight as a reward. Good luck to that. Good luck with that, John. Hope all goes well with those few beers. Let us know what you have stocked the fridge with. Richard coming in, also a valued member from a warm but wet North Yorkshire. Leonore just saying thanks, keeping it simple. Thanks, Leonore. Marianne coming in from San Diego as well. That's it. Overcast there, mile inland, with a marine layer. Will it clear up? Let's see. Xavier or Xavier, could you describe how people with allergies select either Madrid or Barcelona? Well, I only live in Madrid, Xavier, and allergies are an issue at certain times of the year, especially now. I had a sneezing attack yesterday. Some people have very bad allergies. Difficult to avoid in a dusty city like Madrid. Barcelona, I don't know. Let me know if you're in Barcelona and you have allergy issues so we can help Xavier out. As you mentioned in your Madrid cons video that allergies is one of your problems in Madrid. Yeah, it is. It's one of my problems. I get hit 2 times a year by allergies in the springtime and also in January with this winter tree that flowers, and it's a very annoying allergy, that one. Worse than my spring allergies, to be honest. But I take a tablet or a pill every day. It tries to an antihistamine, as they call it, and I try to keep the symptoms down. Gigi coming in from Porto Marin. Drizzle all day from Sarria, but nice now. Gigi, of course, walking the trail, walking the Camino up there in the north of Spain, in Galicia, I think that is. Sani coming in from Basingstoke. Hoping everyone's well. Janet, Devon, last day of holiday. Enjoying some of that nice cream there in Devon, right, Janet? Coffer coming in from Sydney, I think, Coffer. Spain doesn't seem safe these days. Well, it's still safer than a lot of places, Coffer. I know that in Australia there's been a lot of stabbings going on recently in Western Australia, in Sydney there, in Bondi recently. Someone went crazy with a knife. So, yeah, Spain doesn't seem safe these days. For me, it's still the same, to be honest. I haven't noticed much change. Although in Salamanca the other day, I was walking down the street and I felt somebody walking up quickly behind me. And when I turned round, somebody quickly ran down some stairs. So I don't know whether I was going to get mugged in that very instance there in Salamanca. Hopefully I wasn't. The person was just going to his destination. But I did feel that it was a risky situation, let's say. But I kept on walking. Stephen coming in from, not sure, I think in Wales Stephen's coming in from, valued member 2, enjoying an evening with his sister and mother and a nice drop of Rioja and some lovely cheese. Disney Girl, let's have a look here. I subscribe to your channel and I'm a member. It feels like summer already here in May in Central Florida. What is the abuse about in Spain? It was the abuse about the left lane drivers. They've been abusing it, so they're going to get rid of that abuse. That was the abuse today, Disney. Coffer saying, I reckon Spain's got more charging points than Australia, and that can only be a good thing. Probably, Coffer. A lot more people in Spain, so you would imagine there's a lot more charging points. And, of course, it's more concentrated as well. I reckon you won't get too many charging points on the Nullarbor Plain, Coffer, or from Sydney to Broken Hill. You probably don't get too many charging points. I could be wrong. Don't know. John, coming in from a cold UK. Good to see you, John. Darren, coming in from a cold Sidcup, Bexley, Greater London. I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, I could be wrong. Victoria for the win, says Martin. Okay, likes that beer. Davina coming in from Miami. Love your excellent and informative videos. Kind of addicted. Love the channel. Thanks for that, Davina. Good to see you. Edward coming in from Oklahoma City. Beer snobs are the worst beer drinkers, says Yusuf. Bob coming in from Torrevieja, the Blackpool of Spain, according to that article. Problem with a huge number of drivers appear to think the right-hand lane on the dual carriageway is for trucks only. That's the issue, isn't it, Bob? Absolutely. As soon as somebody sees a truck here, they zip over to the left. They can see it a mile down the road, but they'll still go into the left lane for some reason. I've never been able to work it out myself. But, yeah, you're right. That's it. Martin says you shouldn't fry with olive oil. It's more carcinogenic. Carcinogenic, yeah. Too many saturated fats. Eat fresh olive oil and use sunflower oil for frying. Thanks, Martin, for that. But again, tell my mother-in-law. She wouldn't agree. Darren, Toyota are developing a hydrogen engine, keeping their options open. Thanks, Darren, for that. Yeah, there are various alternatives, I think, that I hear about, but of course electric cars flooding the European market currently. Flooding. I saw in, I think it was Belgium, at one of the ports in Belgium, there were literally thousands of cars just sitting there waiting to get out into the market. Leslie, missed the last few lives. Visitors, greetings from Yekla, says Leslie. What else? Let's have a look. Flutter Girl, some landlords would turn off heat and water on squatters, but I don't know if that is legal. Here in this part of Canada, the courts are slow. Yeah, they were slow here as well. To be honest, I'm not up to speed on the latest squatter happenings and how easy it is to get people out if they do come into your house or apartment, but let's hope it is a speedy process to get them out. Let's hope. What else? Let's see. Erica just made it from work. A real spring day there. Storms, clouds, now sunny with a temperature of 17 degrees Celsius. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thanks, Erica, for that. What else? YouTube is saying here that you can't turn off electric or water on squatters. You'll get arrested. There we go. You wouldn't want to get arrested for trying to get people out of your own home. That would get you even angrier, I imagine. Jimbo's back in Madrid. Yeah, we saw, Jimbo, that you were back in Madrid the other day, and last week I think you told us as well. Thanks for that. Sports fan there, supporting the New South Wales Women's Rugby League in the logo. Larry coming in from Tazacorte in La Palma, down there in the Canaries. Kirk, valued member also, coming in, made another live stream today. Good to see you, Kirk. Over there in Florida, I think Kirk is. Keith coming in from Madrid. Not sure where in Madrid, but somewhere. What else? Let's have a look here. Larry's saying you can turn off the electrics, but you can't turn off the water. With squatters in Spain. I hope that is. Let's have a look. Christine coming in from Madrid also. Hope all is well. Coming in a bit late. No problems. 2002 Wanted, heading to Barcelona tomorrow from Miami. Good luck with that trip. Hope all goes well, and it's a smooth flight. Miami is the most Spanish of the United States. What do you mean by that? With population, Spanish speakers, or history-wise? I don't know. Let us know. The lighter olive oils are for cooking, virgin olive oil for salads. Thanks, Keith, for that. That is true. Here you'll see different grades of olive oil. They used to be called 0.4, like a percentage. Now they call them suave or something like that. But yeah, you use the suave, the lighter olive oil for cooking. Absolutely. It's normally cheaper, but at the moment, not so much. And Andres, valued member as well, coming in from Pasadena, California. Great video, Stuart. Thanks for the info. Thanks, Andres, for tuning in. Good to see you too. And Larry saying that Miami is most Cuban of the United States. I think there is a big Latin American hub in Miami, obviously because of its geographical location. It's a place where a lot of people from Latin America try to make it to. Cuba, obviously, because of the proximity as well. In the past, lots of people with family on the island of Cuba. And it is. You get the idea that it is there is a big Spanish-speaking population there. But I imagine in California too. I imagine that in Texas also, anywhere that borders with Mexico, I imagine that there's a big Spanish-speaking population. Thanks for that. All right, good. Now, I'm going to wrap the live stream up. That's it for today. 31 minutes and 9 seconds, which is enough, let's be honest. I'll be back again on Sunday with another live stream. Regular videos out in the next couple of days as well. Have a great start to the weekend, a great Friday. See you all on Sunday in the next live. Hasta luego, hasta entonces, adios, bye-bye.